All right, guys. You ever thought to yourself, man, I wish I had more time to do this, or I wish I had more time to do that? And there just seems like there's not enough time in the day. Well, maybe if you had robots to help you do your chores, you'd have some free time. That was what I thought. And introducing the latest member of our household. This is our Eufy L60. This is actually a vacuum cleaning robot. And you'll see he's going back to his house over there. He's going to back up in there, dump off the trash that he just got through picking up, take a nap, get charged, and sit around wait for the next cycle to go do some vacuuming. So stick around. We'll be right back. All right, guys, so as a lot of you know, I'm big into technology. I think gadgets are just really cool, especially when gadgets can help like make a job more efficient, help save time, make things safer. And so I got to looking around and looking at some of the latest innovations in like some of the cleaning robots, the I guess you could say living assisting robots. And the vacuum robots are kind of the lowest point of entry for those type of things. So I'm like, you know what, why not? We have pets here. We live in a real sandy environment. The floors can be a bit of a task to keep up with, and constantly having to vacuum, sweep, whatever, can get a bit annoying. So I was like, if I could find a robot to help with that task, it would be a big deal as far as convenience. So I did some research, and I chose to get the Eufy L60. Now, the reason I chose the Eufy L60 is because out of all of the ones I looked at, the Eufy uses LiDAR to map out the room, and you know, being that I'm used to working with lasers, as well as 3D scanning and stuff like that, I knew that that was probably going to be one of the most beneficial methods for mapping out a room, because you can't use GPS inside a building. Now, the machine does have bump sensors on it still that it uses to, you know, as a hard stop, but the LiDAR is really effective and really simple to use. So I'm going to move over here and kind of show you the base and what it looks like, and we'll go over some of the nerdy things about it real quick as I show you some footage of it working. And I'm going to make this video kind of short because there's not a lot you need to know about this guy. All right, so as you can see, guys, I've got mine kind of set right here in the corner. When you're getting it set up, it'll tell you that it needs a few inches on either side to be able to dock itself and kind of map the area out appropriately. And so that's kind of what I did. I've left it enough room to do that here beside the fireplace there. And it's doing a really good job. The cool thing about this guy is this one, even though the machine itself doesn't hold a whole lot of dust, you have this little vacuum cleaner attachment here that once this thing fills up, or once it finishes a room, it backs in here, dumps itself into this guy right here. I've got about 12 hours runtime on the machine, and so far it's only about half full. The cool thing about this one is, like I said, it does use LiDAR, and it also is Wi-Fi connective and all that good stuff. It even has like a detangling cutter for if you have long hair that gets stuck on the bristles of the brush or whatnot. So far it's been running really well and doing a good job. Can't really complain a whole lot to it. The application works on iPad as well as iPhone so far, and let me show you what that looks like. So inside the application, you're going to have a map like this once you have mapped out your house or room or whatever you're using it for. And it's very easy. Once you connect the machine to the Wi-Fi, I just followed the directions inside. It was relatively easy. Downloaded the app, put it on the device, and then it will automatically map everything. The only thing that we had a problem with, and there's that one little spot right there where there's a no-go zone, was mirrors close to the ground can cause it to think that there's an extra room there. Here's kind of the history of how much we've used it. I've got almost 12 hours of time on the machine. I've got it where I've been doing basically the entire house every day, because that's what the whole purpose of this thing is, to just be able to run through there and get stuff doing without us having to be involved. There's that little no-go zone from that mirror that I was talking about, and you can see now that it is actively vacuuming the bedroom, and it does a really good job of mapping everything out. You can even see the bedposts right there, so it's pretty handy. And some other stuff that I had questions about when we were getting this thing, when I was looking at it, is, how's those little tires that's on there, the little wheels or whatever, how are they going to do with all these rugs? Because we have rugs, in different places throughout the house. We have, some rooms are carpeted, some are hardwood floors, and just how's it going to do? How bad is it going to get hung up? Well, so far, we've only had like one time where it got hung up on a rug. You can see the LiDAR right there flashing as it's moving around. But it got onto a little bathroom rug and kind of rolled the corner of it up a little bit. And that could be because it was just a thin rug, or it could have just been the angle it came at, because it only did it that one time, and so far it hasn't had any issues. I will tell you that if it does get hung up, it will send, you can see the laser hitting the wall right there. I don't know why it's picking it up on the camera, but you can actually see the LiDAR flickering against the wall. And that's what makes this thing accurately map all the stuff it's mapping. And see, it's just decided it's going to turn, go into that bathroom there, and go ahead and start sweeping that. You'll also notice it's got that little arm that sticks out there with that little brush wheel on it. That does a pretty good job of getting stuff that's like close to the wall and kind of raking it out to where it can get under the little, I guess you would say rollers, beaters, whatever that's under there that kind of helps like brush the carpet, so to speak. But it navigates stuff really well. I was shocked. You'll notice right here, I mean, that looks to me like it's going to be hung up. It's going to hit that rug and it's just going to hang up. But it doesn't. It does a good job. So all in all, the things that I was concerned with our house, because like this is a bathroom, it's got tile in it. I was concerned that it would get in there and, spin tires trying to climb up on that rug. But it also has a setting so that it can detect the type of floor, and it will adjust the vacuum and adjust itself accordingly. It's kind of weird because when it's on the hardwood floor, it's just kind of trolling and easing along. And then when it gets into some carpet, you can hear it like gear down and throttle up. So it's pretty neat. I'm really digging the thing. It's locating itself right now. What it's doing is it comes off there and does this spin to match up its scan to the map so it knows exactly where it's at. And it's very, very accurate. So guys, that's kind of the gist of it, okay? It's a very simplistic robot. Like I said, they've got it built out to where it's very easy to operate, easy to program. The objective here is to come up with a machine that is capable of performing this little task every day that is not overly complicated to use. And I think they did a good job of it. I'm looking at some other machines as well. I want to get into maybe like lawn care and stuff like that with robots, because the technology to do these things is getting more attainable for folks. And I think that the time that we would normally spend doing these little tasks that these robots can do is better spent doing other things. And so it's a matter of convenience for us. But I also see a use for this type of stuff for somebody that maybe you've got a loved one, a parent, a grandparent, or whatever, that maybe they can't take care of things the way they used to, but that's something that's important to them. Well, maybe this would be a tool that would enable you to help them basically be more independent, because now they have the ability that, this little robot will just run around and help them do simple tasks. So I think that's another reason why the simplicity of the software is good, is because once someone maybe helps you get it set up, it's not that difficult to deploy it and to keep it going. It does send you notifications if it gets hung up, or if there's a door that's closed and it can't get to an area or whatever. So it would be kind of a tool to help people have a little bit more level of independence that maybe didn't have it any other way. Kind of like the lawnmower robots that I'm looking at getting. Those also, if you're, say you have mobility issues or whatever, those would enable somebody to be able to take care of their own lawn care needs without having to, pay somebody per se to come out and do it, which would, be a lot better in the long run. Initially, there is a cost, but long term, hopefully these will be an alternative for lawn care for people. But anyway, this is the kind of stuff that I think would fit more with what I do in the shop, as well as kind of spills over into the household care stuff. So if you like the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up down there, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, be safe and have a good day.